Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Spring is here, and so are pesky mosquitoes. But the folks at Southeast Termite and Pest Control, they have a new treatment, a more powerful treatment. It's stronger, it's longer lasting than what they've used before. Just call them and ask about their affordable mosquito treatments. They come to your house any number of times you want to set it up, and it does the trick. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, wanted to give everyone a shot at their own keys to today's game, so each person gets a maximum of 60 seconds. We're already behind, so let's get right into it. Jimmy's keys. Let's put the graphic up. There we go. Jimmy, what are your keys?
I think they do have to get the ball inside. Don't settle for threes. I think they did that too much in the game against Colgate. They've done it too much in other games as well. And guarding the threes, I think that, look, Auburn hit 15 threes. Colgate hit 15 threes. I didn't think Tennessee did a good job of that. And I think two relates to three. I think the guard, the high ball screens, I don't understand. You saw Colgate continuing to set a high ball screen with their post, and so you had Jordan Burns at Colgate was going one-on-one with either Kyle Alexander or Grant Williams on top, and that was a mismatch, I thought. So I think that two relates to three. They've got to do a better job in terms of switching. They've got to fight through the screens and not allow those mismatches.
Okay, very good. Josh Ward, what are your keys to Tennessee winning?
Yeah, I see similar thoughts to Jimmy. Attack on offense. Look at those numbers from the last segment. Outside the top 300 in defending two-point shots. Attack with Grant Williams. No matter where he gets the basketball, this is another game where I would say, hey, you're SEC Player of the Year again. Go to the basket, make some plays. And you know what? If you attack them, you can find open shooters to get the basketball to for better shots. On the defensive side, don't leave shooters. Iowa was 11 of 22 from three in its win against Cincinnati 2 days ago. It's going to be very confident, and it knows that it will likely have open shots to take. It will take them, and it can hit them. And then the third one, assist-to-turnover ratio, I think that can be just reflective on how the game went. When Tennessee's assist numbers are up, that will just show you. Tennessee probably ran its offense the way that it wanted to. And in turnovers, get back to transition offense and defense. Don't give them extra opportunities.
Very good. Mike Strange, what are your keys for UT victory?
Well, as I said in an earlier segment, Grant Williams got to get involved. He's the SEC Player of the Year, and he only shot 2 free throws against Colgate, and he's been so good at that all year. I think he had 6 field goals and only 2 free throws. So you got to get him involved in the first half, not at crunch time. The second key is about shot selection. If you take a 3 and miss it, okay. Then if you take that second 3 and miss it, if you take that third one and miss it, you not only go sit on the bench, you got to go sit on the bus in the parking lot until halftime or whatever. However, that rule is waived in the final 4 minutes of the game because the Vols have proved they can hit threes in the final minutes.
All right.
And finally, force some turnovers. Take possessions away from Iowa. You saw how effective it was, what Auburn did to Tennessee, so turn that and force some Iowa turnovers.
All right, Mark Pankratz, your keys.
Win the battle of the points in the paint and free throws. Iowa is a great free throw shooting team. They get there. So that's one thing that we can keep an eye on of who is scoring more in the paint. Minimize Iowa ball reversals, whether that's moving the ball from side to side in their motion offense or on ball screens. We've done a terrible job of allowing people to turn the corner on ball screens, as kind of Jimmy alluded to. We've got to keep the ball more on one side of the floor because that makes us a much better help defensive team. And then transition offense and transition defense. I'm talking with different assistant coaches that I know in the Big Ten. That's been their number one key to beating Iowa is you've got to be able to stop them in transition offense. And then on defense, we've got to be able to get back and keep them out of the paint. And then we can do the same thing on our end, as we can attack the paint and get easy looks in transition.
Yeah, Mark is the only one on the panel that's been getting texts during the show from assistant coaches in the Big Ten on how to beat Iowa. So pay attention to his keys right there. My keys, I'm going a separate way. Work Grant Williams very simply. He'll have a week to recover, so wear him out. Be sure they are vulnerable inside the arc. Be sure to feed Grant Williams. Next, get 6 points from Kyle Alexander. Now, Tennessee is 19-2 when he scores at least 6 points. I'm kind of kidding about the 6. The point is, you cannot continue to make a run in this tournament if you're playing 4-on-5 on offense. You need something from Kyle Alexander. Get it from him today. Finally, beware of foul trouble. We've talked about it I looked, let me go to the next graphic here if we could, avoid foul trouble. I looked at the top 20 seeds in the tournament this week and compared all their numbers, all top 20. UT was the only team out of those top 20 seeds that had 4 players averaging 30 minutes a game, 5 players averaging 27 minutes a game, and 6 players averaging 23 minutes a game. In other words, you're about the thinnest team out there, you and Michigan. But you're worse than Michigan in terms of how concentrated your minutes are. Tennessee goes about 8 deep on the bench. Iowa, they go 10 deep. You've got to avoid foul trouble. We're talking about working it inside, but you got to be smart when you're doing it.
To your point about the bench, Iowa plays a 1-2-2 pressure back to a 2-3 zone. That's one. To your point about keeping guys out of foul trouble because they'll play more zone, and then their transition, their pressure will get into the legs of our guys, and so can Bones stay in it and keep attacking, and can we get easy baskets?
When we come back, everyone's scared of the three-point shot. I don't think that's Tennessee's Achilles heel as much as some others. In fact, I think it's an issue for college basketball to address. Come on back on the Sports Source. I'll explain why.